This is Geoff Welch with This Tiny Empire, and I am here with my new friend, Leah Boltz, who is the Director of Marketing and Business Development at
Yes.
Bettesworth North in
Yeah.
Anchorage, Alaska, and who I met at TEDx when we both spoke there just a couple weeks ago. She did an amazing presentation on a topic I want to talk about today, which is her involvement in a nonprofit called Parks for All. And I could explain it, but I think it's better to let you explain it. So tell us a little bit about Parks for All and what the idea behind Parks for All is.
Sure. Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Parks for All again. I always love talking about it. Parks for All is actually a grassroots initiative that was started by some members of the Anchorage community, a couple of moms who were kind of bemoaning the fact that our children with special needs didn't really have a playground to play on that was accessible for them. So we decided to do something about it. So we're not a nonprofit.
Oh,
We're just
sorry.
sort of an amorphous kind of grassroots initiative, and it allows us to partner with different nonprofits that support our mission. And our mission is to make sure that all Alaskans of all abilities have a place to play together.
Cool.
And the together part is really important to us because we think that people with all different abilities and ages and backgrounds should be able to have a central place to play together. And we're not designing or building playgrounds just for people with special needs, but for everybody.
Yeah.
So
So it's accessible to everyone, not for a specific subset, but so it's also available to
exactly.
everyone. Yeah.
Yep. And we focus a lot on inclusive play versus just accessible.
So tell me about inclusive play. It's been a long time since I've been a kid.
It's the same for all of us, and that's kind of a subset of our mission is really trying to get people back into that mode of, we can all be kids sometimes, and it's good for us.
Yeah.
But inclusive play, accessible kind of has a bad, I guess not bad, but people tend to do the bare minimum when you say accessible. So there is an Americans with Disabilities Act, which, we're all really thankful for. But there are standards with that and accessibility standards. So when you build a public facility or you build a building or a park or anything like that, it has to meet minimum ADA accessible guidelines. And for most, for a lot of projects, that's it. They'll meet the standard and they won't go beyond that.
Yeah.
For inclusive, we look at different viewpoints. And we look at different abilities and backgrounds and ways of meeting the needs of as many community members as we possibly can.
Cool.
And for the community with disabilities, it means meeting different types of abilities.
Yeah.
So not just someone in a wheelchair, but someone who maybe has a vision impairment or a hearing impairment or is on the autistic spectrum.
Yeah. Which has got to be, that's got to be quite an undertaking. Because you're looking at such a broad range, and you're creating a park around it. I think that's amazing.
Absolutely, yeah. Yep.
So tell me a little bit about. I know that you're listed as a co-founder, and tell me about this sort of bridging this gap between, hey, this seems like an important thing, this seems like a good idea, and saying, I'm going to do something about it, or with others, I'm going to do something about it. But taking that step, what's that like?
It was a pretty natural step. I'm kind of I don't know where I ever got this trait, but I'm a doer. And a friend of mine gave me this bracelet, and at a previous job, it was a coworker, and it says, "Decide your own destiny." And I wear that bracelet almost every day, and it reminds me, and that's sort of the spirit that I came at this with. I saw a need in the community, and I saw a problem and a need that was not being met for my family personally. And, I'm not one to wait around for someone else to fix the problem. And so I decided, along with this other group of moms and some other community members, that we could actually figure out a way to change things.
Yeah. And so you have gone from having this idea to, I know is there one park or is there two parks that have been completed?
Right now, there is one
Uh-huh.
fully inclusive boundless playground,
Uh-huh.
and then there's another one that is inclusive, just not to that boundless
Mm-hmm.
playground
Mm-hmm.
certification.
So tell me about that process of so you've got this idea, you're going to do something about it, and to take that through to, I know you're not done, but to take that
Right.
through to, we have a park that sort of lives up to the vision that we have. What kind of obstacles did you face? How was that process?
It was a great learning experience for me because I never got into it thinking that I was going to spend 5 years of my life doing this.
Yeah.
I was early 30s, I guess, when I started it, and not really, kind of wondering what I was going to do with my life to contribute to the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really, for the most part, a fun process. And it took a while because we were, just a few moms trying to get something done.
Yeah.
But what I found and what I love so much about Alaska is that if you tell people about something, they'll tell their friends, and you build this incredible network of support in a matter of no time.
Yeah.
So that was really it, is just talking to people and using our network connections and people that we knew to spread this idea that, hey, maybe this is something that we need.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of it. And then the education component of explaining to people why this was important and what the need was. That was the fun part. And, just the overwhelming support. We never had anyone tell us, no, we're not going to support
Wow.
kids
That's awesome.
playing.
Yeah.
Which is
Well,
good.
and I think that's what I love about this is that although you have a vested interest in this, there's an outcome for you and your family that is beneficial. It's not the kind of thing where, at least in terms of what I know about you and what I know about the project, where the objective was to get something for yourself. You
Exactly.
you saw a need and you saw a way that a lot of people could benefit from something that would also benefit you, but it was about doing something for the community. And I think your vision, your ideas are stretch beyond the community of Anchorage, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. It didn't start out that way. When we first started Parks for All, it was an effort to get maybe a few playgrounds here and there retrofitted with some accessible equipment.
Yeah.
And then it grew into, the Park Foundation came to us and said, we have a big central park, which is Cuddy Park. We have a place for a playground. Let's just go all out and build a big inclusive playground.
Yeah.
So that was not what we were expecting, and it was a huge blessing to us.
Yeah.
And then from there, again, that just sort of built people's excitement. And so then they've kind of taken it farther and decided, well, we should do more of this. So that's where the second one came from. And then now there are people all over the state saying, oh yeah, we're going to do this too. And so, yeah.
And so in your wildest dreams, this sort of sets a new standard, right?
It does. Yep. I think so.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the city of Anchorage has really taken that and run with it, and Fairbanks too has, they're working on getting some funding for their projects up there, but they have a really great vision and they really understand the need for it.
Cool.
So,
well, I love it. I love it because of what it is, the actual project. I love it because it demonstrates what somebody who cares about something can accomplish. I love that you didn't have some major qualifications with the Parks Department. It's not like you just said, "Oh, this will be easy. I'm going to just do it because it's simple." But you said, "I care about it and I want to see it happen," and you just started moving toward that. And now there's a park.
Yeah,
I love that.
Thank you.
So I love all of that. I think that's why I'm a fan of yours. That's part of it. They could tell that pretty quickly that you have you care about leaving something worthwhile behind, and I think that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I think.
So anything else you want to plug about the project or about how people can connect to it or get involved with it?
Well, it's a moving target, and we're growing every day and trying to do more of this work around the state and around the country, and as much as we can do. We do have a Facebook page, and so we're at Parks for All there, which is the best place to reach us.
Okay.
And yeah, I welcome people to follow us and, share a project that you want to get done, or, we got a lot of neighborhoods down here in Anchorage who are now coming to the city saying, we want an accessible playground in our neighborhood. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, I'll definitely share that as part of the write-up and on this video.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Leah. I really appreciate it. And I know you were honored as one of Alaska's top 40 under 40 last week, and crazy well-deserved. So good job.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. All right. Until next time.